Namaskaram, welcome to PGurus. I'm your host JK. Many of you would have heard of the Kalakshetra episode and what has been happening for some time now. And the good news, the person who was kind of jailed for almost 2 months has been released. Mr. 𝗒𝙧𝙤𝙀𝘀𝑗𝑔𝙬 is out. And to tell us more about what happened almost for since Jan, if I am right, we have what I consider as Swati Sharma of the South, Sandhya Ravishankar of the Lead, the editor of the Lead, is with us to throw more light on this issue. Namaskaram.
Namaskar.
First of all, thank you very much for accepting our invite and just coming to PGurus to talk about this issue, because we believe that you've been absolutely on the ground all the time, just getting all the information required and updating the people of Tamil Nadu as well as India, as well as everyone. So let's start. So what is this issue all about? Why an innocent man was jailed for almost 2 months, and finally we understand the cases has been withdrawn, or the person who have kind of maligned his image finally just went back on the word and said, no, he has not done anything. What is it?
Well, JKG, you know that the restless protest has sort of occupied the national headlines. And Kalakshetra's, this issue began well before the wrestlers issue. And
Right.
it's very sad to say this, but it's pretty much turning out to be what the wrestlers issue is now turning out to be. We've all seen how the complainant was a minor wrestler, right?
Right.
She's a minor. Her father has given an interview not very long ago saying that he had given a false complaint for various reasons of his own. Now I'm not going to get into that, but increasingly we are finding that this is a serious problem in terms of cases such as the wrestlers protest, the Kalakshetra issue. Before that we saw the PSBB issue. A whole bunch of people have been defamed. There have been cases, very serious cases filed against them on completely motivated and baseless grounds. And this is honestly a real cause for concern, as I think a lot of us have been talking about this. And I'm afraid that the Kalakshetra issue is pretty much that. You asked me what it is about. Let me summarize it for you very quickly. In a gist, it's about a group of students in the Institute of importance, of national importance. Kalakshetra comes under the Ministry of Culture, and it's one of the preeminent dance schools in the country. And in Kalakshetra, a whole bunch of students and teachers came out and around November, December last year, and said that there were allegations of sexual harassment and all kinds of other gossip that was going on about one person sleeping with another person being in an affair with a third person. All of this stuff was being thrown around, and Leela Sampson, who's the former director of Kalakshetra, she took this up and she just put out Facebook posts on the basis of absolutely baseless gossip. It was just rumor mongering, right? And she put out all these ridiculous Facebook posts naming students who are very young. These are like 23, 24-year-old students, 24-year-olds. And she has named all of them, called them mistresses of another teacher in the college. And it just sort of exploded into a whole lot of anger and heat. And there were protests that took place. 𝗒𝙧𝙤𝙀𝘀𝑗𝑔𝙬 was arrested on the basis of an FIR which was filed by a former student. She has not been part of Kalakshetra for the last 2 years. But she came down and filed an FIR against him. A very, very kind of vague FIR, which, nothing can be proven on that. It's a case that is most likely going to be thrown out by the courts. But anyway, let us wait and see. He is not completely exonerated as of now. But
He's out on bail.
He's out on bail, yes. But
Right.
there is
Out on bail? Out on
Yeah,
bail
it's
stating that, yeah,
it's
I
called
guess it's a
default. Yeah.
default bail. Exactly. Right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
which means that the police have not filed a charge sheet within the stipulated time of 60 days. So the police really have nothing to go on. And I don't expect that this case is going to go anywhere in the coming days either.
Right. So a couple of things. I guess you said this restless protest as very much the same pattern, similar pattern. I guess I would maybe just give a hint to the ruling party. This is what's coming. So those people who are on the verge of getting retired or their term going to come to an end might find some heat somewhere. And if it is a male, it's going to be a sexual harassment case for sure. So again, Padmanabhan is out on bail. There's one point which I thought I should ask you is about a care space somewhere in US. Somebody, I guess it's an unknown organization so far, and they just started helping this protest. I guess they are the one who started it for, as you said, the protesting team, right?
Yes, you're right. So, Care Spaces is actually this very vague kind of organization. They don't really put out too many details about themselves, but they say that they are a group of a couple of students who have created this as a platform for people in the performing arts sector to come together and talk about sexual harassment and whatever else is going on with them. So there's one Janani Ramesh who is one of the co-founders. There are two young women who are co-founders. One is Janani Ramesh, and the other one is one Neha. I don't recall her last name, but there is one Neha as well. Now, both of them live in the US, and Janani Ramesh, funnily enough, is a student of one of the teachers in Kalakshetra called 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙤. And Janani is said to be extremely close to 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙤. And each time she comes down to Chennai, she stays in Indu's house, and they both, they travel around the city together. So they're very, very close. It's a very strong relationship, a very strong bond between the two of them. So this is how Care Spaces gets into the act, and they provide a platform for students to write anonymously. So there are some problems with anonymity. I mean, anonymity, we all think it is required, it is necessary, and I agree with that. But you get away with pretty much murder when it's anonymous. You're able to say all sorts of things which are not likely to be true either, and you're harming people's reputations by shooting from an anonymous position. So Care Spaces was very problematic to begin with. And the problem was that many of these students are in their early 20s. They've not seen the world. They've just probably finished, they've just graduated and they've come to Kalakshetra, or some of them have even come straight from school into Kalakshetra after finishing school. So, you have all these very impressionable young women who are reading all this horrible stuff on Care Spaces from anonymous handles, and they are bound to be influenced by it and think that Kalakshetra is like a den of rape or something like that.
Right. So what we kind of understand is that there was an attempt to tarnish the image of the institute. One, Bharatanatyam, the cultural dance, is getting developed by people who are not even associated with that. And then people who have the reputation of the best teachers being put in jail. I guess we know that director kind of felt unconscious during the protest. And we also understand finally they had their way. Like students' union is being formed, and I guess whatever demand they had is being kind of given to them. Is that true?
Well, in a sense, yes, it is true, but I don't think the Kalakshetra board has actually, recognized the student council as such. So that one's, that will probably happen only after Kalakshetra reopens. They have postponed the reopening of the college by a month, so they're going to reopen only in July. But the demands of the students is peculiar. A, they said arrest Hari Padman, which took place. B, they said arrest the other three dancers in the repertory, which did not happen because there was not even a single complaint against them, right? And by complaint I mean a complaint to the police, an FIR. No one, and trust me, the police tried really, really hard. They were on their best behavior. Yes, not just find evidence. They tried to even convince these people who were protesting, these young girls who were protesting, and they were trying to ask them, please come and file a complaint. Only then we can take it forward. What can the police do without a complaint? And none of them was willing to give a complaint. There's only one sole complaint by a student who is an alumna. And that's the only complaint. That's only against 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙥. As for the other three young men in the repertory, and they were named by the students as well, Srinath, Srijit, and Srinath, Sai Krishna, and Sanjit, the three of them. There is not even a single complaint against any of them, and the police have not even issued any summons to them to come and depose.
Right. So just one final question. So 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙥 has to go through a lot, 60 days of jail. Do you think he's gonna just go file a complaint against those who kind of tarnish his image? Because if you just let these people go, at the end of the day, this gonna happen. I guess a lot. You're gonna see a lot of this kind of issues coming up shortly. Do you think? I guess is he ready mentally, or is there a chance that he gonna accuse the people who kind of tarnish his image?
Well, I honestly don't know, because I haven't spoken to 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙪 since he came out on bail. I had spoken to him before when the allegations were flying thick and fast. But I am not very sure whether he will do it, because at the end of the day, he is going to try to beat this case. A. B. He's going to have to find a job, because he's been suspended by Kalakshetra.
Right.
And he has 2 young children whose school fees he has to pay. He has a wife to support. So my guess is that he's probably going to be focusing more on his own life and getting his life together, rather than, So the basic point I'm trying to say is, I think all of these people who have cast such false allegations are likely to go free.
Go free. I guess that's been happening all the time. I guess we're going to see that more often than not. First of all, thank you very much, Sandhya. We are happy and proud that you kind of came to our channel and gave a detail about excellent overview about what's happened in Kalakshetra. Hope 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙥 get back his life and be as normal as he was before. Thank you very much.
So can pray for that. Thank you very much.